Hello everyone and welcome, it's Shanna. Now I'm making another graduation card today, and this is some custom colors. I had somebody ask me to make a graduation card with these colors. I'm just bringing in the classic mouse graduation set, and there are 22 cutting dies with this, and you don't need the other classic mouse sets. I have also got this press and foil plate that coordinates with it. You have your numbers and several pieces that you can press. I've already made a couple cards with it, and I've done the red, white, and black color scheme, and I actually assembled their gowns wrong on these dresses, so you're going to want to follow to see the correct way to assemble the gowns. I have got this sage and pink color scheme, and this is the color scheme that was requested, and we're just going to get to making some cards. So we've got some different lighting here. I did the product review in the daylight, and then it's nighttime, and now I'm doing the actual assembly of the card. I've just got these colors from just some stuff that I had in my stash. It's not even my Spellbinders cardstock that I normally use. We're going to take a pink and we're going to get the tongue laid down here. We are going to make the girl classic mouse because this is a graduation card for a girl, and her party colors are pink and sage, and so that's why I have chosen what I've chosen. I don't know what her school colors are, but I was told that the party was going to be this color scheme, so I'm going to use it. And I think it comes together really cute. So we're just going to get the face laid down on. The head is just black, and then the face is white. And you have great detail on there on where you lay the face down so that you can get it down nice and neat. So we've got that on there. We've got the body. We've got the little eyelash here, and I'm going to just get it laid down on there. And this is going to be how we will indicate that we've got our girl classic mouse. And I've been using red for the tongues, but for this one I used the same pink that we're going to use for the gown. And I think she's super cute. So we've got the little arms and the little body. I'm going to get the guide that shows you how to assemble it and show you. You can print this off on the Spellbinders website. It's where the photos are on the area of the website, and you can just scroll through there and find the assembly guide and view it there. If you want to print it, I would suggest you right-click, open in a new window, and then print from there, and that's how you get your best results. Now this is where the gown, this is the back of the gown that goes behind the back of the body, and then I'm going to grab the other two pieces, and I've laid the back of the gown on the back and the front on the front, and that is how it goes. Now when I assembled my other two, I was like, you can't see their shoes as well. It's because I assembled the gown wrong. I assembled the gown and then I put it on the body, not thinking about the back of it being behind there, and then those two vest-looking pieces are actually the front of it. And then I just made her tail stick out from behind here. I didn't know how to make that particular tail come out from underneath the gown, so we just did it this way. And we're going to lay the sleeves on here, and I'm going to put my arms on before I put my sleeves on. And I'm going to assemble this kind of backward because I'm going to get the arms all on, and then I'm going to realize I don't have my cuffs, and we'll add them. But the way that I attached everything, I was able to easily add the cuffs later. So you have the back of the gown, the vest area of the gown, the sleeve areas of the gown, and then the cuffs of the gown. And I've not brought the cuffs in yet. I'll bring them in later. But and this arm, one goes on top and then the other one goes underneath so that you get the right look. And so I'm going to get the little arm on here, and then we'll pick up the sleeve, and then we'll get it laid underneath the gown for that arm. And there we go. So that's how it goes. And you can see we've got quite a bit of our shoes exposed now. So my shoes will fit like they did not fit last time. So practice makes perfect. And it certainly did. I was glad that I got this thing out and I worked with it again, because then it made me realize that I had done it wrong. So those people that watched the video last time probably knew that I did it wrong and didn't even tell me. Usually they'll tell me my errors, but okay, so here are like kind of like the tassels or the cords, I think is what they call them. I'm just chosen to bring in that sage. I'm going to bring in sage accents wherever I can, just to tie our color scheme together. And we'll get the cord on the other side laid down. Maybe this isn't the cord, maybe this is the sash. is what this is. And so we'll just give it a press. And there we go. I think it looks really cute. Now there's a V-neck that you can put on the gown, and then there's the cords that you can add to the gown. I'm just going to go with these sashes because I'm sticking with my color scheme, and I'm going to lay my pink shoes down on here. And I've got there's two types of shoes, the girl shoes and then the boy shoes. And the girl shoes kind of have a scalloped edge around the heel. And she also, these are like Mary Jane shoes, and they've got straps that go on them. But I'm not going to use the straps. I'm going to use the strings that are on the other pair of shoes. And I'm going to add like bows to these shoes. These are not how the dies are intended to be assembled. I did assemble the shoes on the girl the right way the last time, but this time I wanted to bring in a different color, and I thought it'd be cute for her to have little bows on the tops of her shoes. So I'm going to use those in the sage color, and we'll get those laid down on there, and I think they look cute. And you can just change these things up however you want. I mean, it's your product. You can just choose to do with it whatever you want. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to get, you have the black foot area, that's a part of the body, and then you have 2 layers of what I'm using pink for. It gives the dimension to the shoe, and then I'm going to bring in the sage bow. And so I'm just laying the top portion of the pink on the pink shoe. And you could do multicolors. You could do a lighter pink and a darker pink, or you could do a white and then a pink, or whatever. But I'm just keeping my color scheme pretty much the same and using my pink and my sage on that. And so I'm getting these bows laid on both shoes. And I think it looks cute, and it's a little change, just changing it up a little bit. Now I'm going to put her cap together, and I'm just going to layer pink on pink. And then we'll bring in a sage green tassel to lay on it, and I think it'll be cute. So we're going to get this laid down. Now, Daria and I are not going live tonight, so that's why I decided to do an extra video, and I'm doing this video, and this will air. Normally, I do go live with Daria on Monday nights, but tonight we're not because I'm going to go to a t-ball game. So there we go. I'm going to give that a little press, and I've got my little tassel on there, and I'm not sure if we've graduated yet. I can't remember which side is which, so I don't know if we're headed to, we're going to have our diploma, so maybe we have graduated. Anyway, I know they have you hang it one side one way, and then when you graduate, you flip it the other side, and I can't remember which way it is. I suppose I could Google it, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to take a piece of white that I had scrap, and I'm going to grab my diploma because I forgot to die cut it out. So I went off camera and die cut it out, and I'm going to put it in this hand, and I have got both a pink ribbon and a sage ribbon, and I decided to use the sage one on my diploma and just bring in some more of that sage color. And I'll just give it a pinch, and we'll get it laid down on she's actually going to be holding it in her raised hand, and you could choose to do either hand. They're both positioned nicely to hold that diploma. So we're just going to get her, this is where I've realized I didn't put the cuffs on there. And so I'm going to make sure I got the right one, put a little glue on there, and you can see I was able to easily tuck that in underneath there and finish off the gown. And then here's the other one. When you throw your things in the tray, I use those little trays, sometimes you lose sight of your pieces, and that's what had happened. I forgot I had those pieces. Now, when I went to remove my tweezers, it was stuck to it, so I had to lay it back down, reposition it, and give it a pinch. So now we've got our gown completely assembled the correct way for the first time. And I'm going to bring in some alabaster cardstock. I've got this sage green and this pink, and we're going to bring in our newly released Playful Stitched dies, and we're going to create some layers here. And so this is a great set. It's also got a tag, and to this point I have not used the tag, but I get an idea, so follow along and you'll see what I do with the tag toward the end of the video. So I'm just going to take these 2 panels, and we're going to die cut these out. We're going to bring them back in. We've got the green there, and it's got a little bent edge. I'm going to straighten it out, and I'm going to bring in my pink panel, and we're going to layer these up. And I'm also going to bring in a piece of vellum, and we're going to even go down one more layer, and then we'll die cut that out, and we'll have our vellum layer. And there we go. So we've got just, 3 really nice nested dies. I thought the vellum would just kind of put a little separation between that pink gown and that pink panel, and it just help kind of separate it. My card base is off a little bit. I'm going to bring in my trimmer and I'm trim it down and just get that tiny little edge off there. I don't like how it's hanging out the bottom, so I'm just going to cut that off. You can see it's just a little strip, and then we're going to get to work on assembling our card base. So we'll get some glue down on there. This is probably some Michaels cardstock, so it's not very heavy, but we've got a good strong card base there, so we don't need heavy cardstock for this. And we'll just layer our pink. And then with our vellum, I'm just going to lay our little classic girl mouse down on there, and then we'll get her stuck down, and then she'll give us a lot of area to glue down that vellum, because she covers a big amount of that vellum, and so I won't have any trouble with the vellum sticking because I've got lots of room there to put glue. And we're just going to center her on there, and it is super cute. I didn't think about, pink and sage. I like the colors. I think it's a fun idea. And I'm going to just look at the different things that I have and try to figure out, because I've got those nested panels on there, and then I've got her, and I don't have a lot of landscape for a sentiment. So I'm just trying all the ones that I had previously prepared, and they are on white cardstock, and I just paused for a minute thinking about that since I used the alabaster card base. But we have got the white face on the mouse, and we have got the white diploma, so I feel like we can go ahead and use this. I thought about it for a minute, and I thought, no, I'm going to go ahead and go for it, because I already have these foiled up and ready to go. And if I don't use them, I'm either going to put them in my stash or I'll wind up throwing them out. So I might as well go ahead and use them. And I think it's okay because we've got that white face, that white diploma on there. So we've got Bravo on the outside. And then here's where I'm going to bring in the tag. I thought I'll just die cut that tag out in sage, and I can put this "You Did It" on the inside, and the white won't be laying right on the alabaster cardstock. We'll have the separation of the green, and it will have the little element of the tag, which I think it'll be fun. We'll bring in some of this Spellbinders gold cord here and just create a little bow. And I've also got some little stars die cut out in that little tray there, and I'm going to bring a couple of those in just to add a little bit more interest to the inside of it. And I think it'll be a fun little element to put on the inside of the card. I'm just looking at the different stars and the sizes that I have available. And I'm going to grab another one, and we'll just get it laid down on there. And there we go. We'll add that little ribbon to it. I'm just going to loop it and just kind of tuck it through. And then we'll create a little bow. And I'm not making a big bow or anything like that, because this is the inside of the card, and I don't want a bunch of bulk on the inside of it. So I'm just going to make just a real simple bow, and just, a single layer so it won't be very thick. Just going to tie it, and then we'll snip off the edges. And I think it's a cute little element for the inside of the card. Now, like I said, I have several of these nested dies that have the tags in the very center of them, and I generally don't use them, but I'm going to start because I think it's fun. I think this turned out nice, and I like it. I'm going to lay it on here kind of wonky, and I think it looks cute. It says "You Did It," and Bravo. So Bravo, you did it, and it is a cute little card. So I've taken a picture for you to check out. I hope you like it. If you do, consider hitting that like, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.